Softly open your eyes and just relax. The irony of human beings is that we remember all of our possessions. We remember our cars, we remember our homes, our computers, our workplace, everything that we possess as we interact with the world, we remember. But one thing that we fail to forget is who am I, what possessions I am born with, what powers I am born with. The natural possessions, the natural powers that are all tucked in me when I was born, but I'm not aware of it. I've forgotten that within me is the healing power, that within me is the power to feel peaceful, calm, joyful, blissful, serene, tranquil, the power of light, the power of truth. All of these powers are tucked into me in a form of spirit, Atman. But I am not aware. Yet I remember all the worldly possessions that I acquired from this world. But I forget, who am I? It's like, think about it, reflect on this, that if I'm a physician and I go to hospital every day to treat patients, and all of a sudden one day I lose my memory and I forget that I'm a physician, so I go to the hospital. The hospital is the same, state-of-the-art equipment is there, my patients are there, I'm there, my body is there, but I don't remember that I'm a physician and I have all that medical knowledge inside me that I can use to heal patients. Will I be able to take care of the patients? No. Exactly the same way, when I forget what powers I'm born with, and I'm only focusing on what I'm acquiring from the world, I'm visited by pain and miseries, because that creates a lot of imbalance in my life. Yes, we all have desires to acquire worldly possessions, and it's okay. But we know for sure that everything that we acquire is unreliable. That's something that we cannot depend upon. It's unpredictable. Today we have it, tomorrow we may not have it. Today we may be basking in profits, but tomorrow we may come across a loss and we're finished. Today we are filled with joy as we acquire this wealth, but tomorrow we can be visited by sorrow, and that can take us deep down into pain and depression. Today someone is appreciating us and giving us such good positive feedback, and tomorrow the same person can say something so negative about us, and we're so sad. So the world is all constantly changing. It's not something that we can depend upon, and therefore our happiness is also going up and down. So what to do? And that's where yoga teaches us, turn within to something that is permanent, that is something that can never be separated from you, that can never leave you. Know and be aware of all the powers that we are born with. Keep that memory in you. Stay connected with those powers. us. And connect with those powers and use them at the time of need, especially, so that we stay in a balanced state of mind. Because if you really look at it, in the outer world, we may not reach to perfection in terms of our position, titles, wealth. There's variation. Some are here, others are here, and we may never reach to a state of perfection. But in the inner world, we all can reach to that state of perfection where excellence starts to flow through us. If we are only looking outward without having the memory of all the powers that we are born with, what happens when situations come to us? We are shattered. And constantly we are resolving problems, challenges, situations, pressures that are coming to us one by one. And when we are faced with our first situation, we may handle it very well, and then by the time we get to 10th or 20th, we are falling apart because we were prepared for one or two, but because of the unpredictable nature of pressure, situation, stress, by the time the day ends and we had a very long day filled with so many not so pleasant situations, we start to become stressed. Why? Because we are preparing ourselves for these situations as they come up one by one, and we only have limited energy that we can use to resolve these situations. Now yogic science teaches us, before situation comes, before any pressure comes to you, look within, connect with your inner powers, be aware of all the powers that you're born with. It's there, it just needs to be developed, it needs to be connected, and then jump in the world to deal with the situations. Then you're already very strong. You don't have to stay strong as situations come. You're already very strong and you can just continue to deal with them, and at the end of the day you will not be exhausted or tired, because inner strength, inner power is going to continue to work with you, work for you. You will be operating out of that powerful self, higher self, soul consciousness. It's like this, think about it, we are already doing so many of these things, but we are not bringing the same to our inner life. When we eat food every day, do we eat disease specific food? When we eat food, do we think, oh, I should eat this so that I can prevent diabetes, or I should only eat this so that I can prevent cholesterol? No, we eat food so that I can prevent every illness. Its nutrition, benefit is such where it just strengthens me inside, and I'm prepared. My immune system stays strong so that I have the ability to fight back with the disease. So why don't we do the same with the inner world? That fill yourself with strength, with healing power, with peace, with abundance of joy, with calmness, with happiness, with blissful moments, so that I'm operating out of that joy, not for joy. And when we operate out of that state, higher state, then what happens? If we have the worldly possessions, we're happy. But even when we don't have the worldly possessions, we are still very happy. It is a fabulous state to be in. That if we are very successful in the world and we are able to gain a lot of wealth, great. But tomorrow, if we can't depend upon it and tomorrow we lose it, we are still in a state which is very balanced, we can never be touched. We are still very joyful. And yes, it is possible. Because world is constantly changing. We cannot depend on this world. Our happiness, our peace, our health cannot depend upon this world because it's constantly changing. So once we can just fix ourselves and make ourselves very, very strong, connect with all the inner powers, then whether we have the world or not, we know for sure, so long there is breath in this body, we are going to be healthy, happy, stress-free, pain-free. That's the magic. These are the words of wisdom coming from our yogic scriptures that empower us, that makes us very strong and confident that we all have the power to lead a life that we had dreamed once, that's filled with joyful moments. And we can make them a reality just by remembering, who am I? What are my natural possessions that I'm born with? And what am I doing